Hey guys, it's Yvette, and I just wanted to do a quick little intro to this new Sew Along series that I'm going to be doing for Cotton Cut's Name of the Rose Puzzle Mystery Quilt. And this series is for the large Bewitched group. So I am Team Bewitched for the large group, and I am so excited to get started on these. You will have already seen the series that I'm doing for the small quilt, which is a small whimsy quilt, and I plan on doing this straight all the way through. I'm going to have each clue done every month, and you guys can sew along with me, and I'd be very happy to have you do that. Little details about the puzzle mystery quilts. As of right now, today is Monday, February 10th, I think. So as of today, the first clues for this puzzle mystery quilt, because this is the spring 2020 edition, Name of the Rose, they mailed out all the first clues on Friday, just this past Friday, February 7th. And people are starting to get them now, but it is still not too late for you to go and join up. You get one clue every month, so there's still plenty of time, and there are plenty of colorways that are still available. In fact, the last time I checked, both the Whimsy and the Bewitched that I am doing are both still available. And you'll be able to, if you'd like to join along with us, you can go over to the Cotton Cuts website. You'll go over to the Name of the Rose page. You will choose your colorway and what size you'd like to do. They have a small and a large. The small quilt is 48 by 60, and the large quilt is 72 by 72. Both patterns are completely different. So if you order a small and you're thinking, gosh, I'd like a large, but I don't want to have the exact same quilt, but just bigger, you won't. It's two separate patterns. And the small one is $17.50 per month, or you can pay $175 upfront. And the large is $25 a month, or $250 upfront. And shipping within the US is free. If you are an international customer, if you pay for your quilt up front and use the code ROSE, you get your shipping free. So, that said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm really excited to start this large one. This is the first large one that I'm actually starting. I did sign up for a large in the fall 2019 for the Cosmos quilts, but I haven't been able to start those yet. But I'm going to put those on hold just for a second so that I can actually work on these with you guys, because I am going to have this video series. And by the way, both of these series, sew-alongs, are sponsored by Cotton Cuts, so they have provided me with the quilt kits for both of them. I just have to let you guys know that before we get started. And without further ado, let's get going! Okay, so here I am, back with everything that was included in my first clue packet. But I also got the sheet of paper that tells us everything that should be inside, and, so we can go over everything and make sure we've received all our pieces. We also, in our first packet, have received some sort of a little thank you gift, and I got a little gingerbread sticker sheet in mine. So you should have gotten just a little bit something extra in your first one as a thank you. And this is typical. They always do something like this because they're sweetie pies. I love those stickers. They're so cute. Okay, so for my large quilt, I am Team Bewitched. And so this is my color swatch that they have sent so that we know exactly what everything is. And we will refer to that sheet throughout the 10 months that we are working on this. So make sure you don't lose that. So when we go through and we pull out our packet, we are given a list of what pieces are going to be in this pack. And you will see that there is a shape with a letter inside. The letter coincides with the fabric that is on the sheet. So we need 4 A triangles, and that's our fabric A, and we do have 4 of those here. We need 12 of our B triangles, so 12 of these, which are right here. And I've already counted everything. I know I've got everything, so there we go. We need 12 of the C fabric, which that's our C. We have 12 of those. We need 4 F fabrics, which are these, and we've got those here. We need 8 F triangles in this shape, which are right here. We need 4 B squares. There's B, and we have 4 of them. We need 8 C squares. That's C, we have 8. We need 4 rectangles in A of this size. So there's A, and we do have 4. And then we have 4 of these larger ones, which are also fabric A. So we have all of our fabric, and we are ready to get started. So when we flip over the page, it's front and back. We can start with our instructions. So I will put them to the side and just read them to you guys. And for now, I'm going to move the fabric so that we can have a work area right here. Put those there. I'm just going to find a space for everything. I can probably put these... I'll put them up here. Okay. Number 1 says that I am going to join small triangles B and F. So we're looking for these 2 here. So that's the fabric that we're using, and we are going to make 4 of each. So I will take, oh, there are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want 4 of those, and I can put these to the side. Okay. And they are going to go like so. So we'll just get those all ready. Let me put this back up here. We'll get these all ready. Okay, so that's how they're going to go, and we'll go ahead and get them prepped. I'm going to flip them over right sides together, and I personally like to draw my 1/4 inch seam allowance. You do not have to do that. You're just going to see me doing it, but you'll see. Now you'll understand why I do that. Some people are fine just using their 1/4 inch foot on the machine. And this just makes me feel like I have a little more control, and I like it. So I do it. You do not have to. We all have our own preferences. Okay, so what I do is, yes, we do want a 1/4 inch seam, but I'm also looking at the points on either side because they have conveniently cut the corners out, which makes it easier for us to put these all together nice. So I do look at the 1/4 inch, but I also kind of try to make sure it's going in the right place just by eyeballing it. Okay, and you do not have to do this either, but I just like to be able to carry my fabric around without worrying if it's shifting, and I don't have to organize it at my machine. It's all ready to go. So I do just put, a few wonder clips in. Okay, so I'm going to press my seams open. That's what I always do, but if you are pressing to one side, you want to press toward F, which is the teal fabric. So you want to put the teal fabric to the top, fold over, and press. Okay, number 2 says that I am going to join triangle C to the top left of 4 of the large. Okay, so these I think we're done for right now. So I'm just going to set these aside. Sometimes you use them one after the other. So let's just set that aside for a minute. And then I am taking my F. And I want 4 of these. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's 4. And let me just separate those out because it looks like we're going to be making 4 of these. Okay, and then we are taking triangle C, which are these guys, and we're going to put them on the top left. Okay, so I'm just going to fold those over, right sides together. And I am going to mark my 1/4 inch seam. If you don't do this, then you are ready to go sew. Okay, so we are ready to press these and get the next triangle sewed on. If you are pressing to one side, you want to press towards C. So you're going to have your C fabric to the top, fold it over and press. Okay, so now we want to add triangle B to the top right. So just lay these out. Okay. So I'm going to fold these over, right sides together. And mark my seams. And see, we must have one side sewed on first and pressed so that the second one will overlap over this seam, and that's what gives you your flying geese. Okay, here we are ready to press. If you are going to be pressing to one side, you want to press toward B, which is the gray fabric. Okay, so you're going to take the gray fabric, make sure it's facing or it's on top. You'll fold it over and press. Okay, so now we have these 4 pieces that are ready to go. And our number 3 says to join step 3 to step 2. I think that means step 2 to step 1 because this is step 3. Okay. That sounds like something I would do. My goodness. But we know what they mean, so that's okay. Okay, so these are going to go this way. And then we're going to add step 1, which are these guys. And we want to make sure that our B is top left and F is bottom right. So they will go like that. Okay, now we're going to flip them over right sides together. Okay, now if you were pressing to one side, then your seams will nest together. Now, because I press open, I do my seams a little bit differently. And all I will do is I'm going to turn down one side and see those are matched perfectly there. And then I just want to check the other corner. So I hold this side because I know this side's good. And I'm going to fold this part back. And let's go a little bit. Yeah, see, those are good too. All right, so I'm going to draw my 1/4 inch line here. And what I like to do is I will take a second ruler and just sort of make sure everything is vertical and how I want it to be. And it really is not right now. So let me... I think the pieces like, and this always happens to me and I don't know why, but I always tend to get like seams not going straight up and down like I want them to. And I'm not really sure what I do wrong because I measure everything a lot. So, but I know how to work around all of my little things. So I just do my best. And I always end up liking how it looks when I'm done. So I just work with it. Okay, so we have these squares and we are ready to press them. Whenever you are going to press, they want you to press toward the right, and this is how it will lay. So you will put your square part to the top, fold it over, and press, okay? Okay, so I have these pieces done and we are ready for step 4, but I'm going to stop for the night. It has been a long day and I will pick up tomorrow and hopefully we can finish this tomorrow night. I'm really excited. Okay, so here's where we left off. I have just finished step number 3, so I'm going to put these aside and we are now going to start with step number 4. And of course, I'm looking at my... Okay, step number 4 is we are going to join small triangles A and C, and we're going to make 4 of them. So we're going to take 4 of these, and there's 4 left, okay, and then C, which are the pink ones, and we're going to take 4 of those, okay. And we're going to have A and C. So we're going to go like this. And let's just sort of put them together if I can. I can't take these apart. Okay, there we go. I'm like, they love each other. They don't want to leave. Okay. I'm going to cut try to make a little bit more room. There we go. Okay. So there, actually I could put them probably across like this, give me a little more room. Okay, so all we're going to do is we are going to fold them over or flip them over like this so they are right sides together. And then we're just going to draw our 1/4 inch seam line. Unless you don't do that, and then you don't have to do that. Just showing you the steps I take. I get a lot of questions about why I draw my seam line, and basically it's just something that I have learned over time that I like to do. It, you know, it does help me, but also it just makes me feel like I have a little more control over what's going on. And I just don't ever have good results from me using the 1/4 inch foot. I don't think it has anything to do with the 1/4 inch foot. I think it's just me. Like, I just do better for whatever reason when I have my line drawn instead of using the guide on the 1/4 inch foot. For some reason, like, I don't know, I end up going squiggly, like I just do, and it's me. It has nothing to do with the foot. It's, you know, so that's why. And I don't know, it just makes me feel more like a part of what's going on with the quilt. I don't know why it makes me feel that way, but it does. So you should do whatever makes you comfortable. So if you really like using the 1/4 inch foot, then you should absolutely do that. Okay, let's go ahead and get these pieces pressed. Okay, now if you are pressing your seams to one side, you're going to want to press towards C, which is the pink. You'll put the pink face up, fold it over, and then press. Okay, so now we have these pieces, and we are going to, I think they go this way. Yes, they go this way, and we're going to take 4 of our C squares, which are these, and I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to join them to the right side of the half square triangle squares that we just made. So let's see, just like that. Okay, so we are going to fold them over. Actually, I think I'd rather do it this way, only because I like to keep an eyeball on my seams whenever I'm sewing, if possible. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. And since they're both they're both squares, so we're just going to kind of put them on top of each other and make sure that it all looks very square-like. And I'll flip it over and kind of eyeball that side too, but it looks good. And I'm just going to get ready for my 1/4 inch seam. And I will just sort of, usually whenever I do this, I just kind of like to make sure that my lines seem kind of, you know, relatively straight. And let's see, I'm trying to check this guy if I can see him. That looks good. Okay. Okay, quick press. Okay, if you are pressing to one side, then you want to press toward your square. So you'll put your square to the top, flip over and press. Okay, so this completes step 5. All right, so then we're going to put these to the side a little bit, and we are going to take a C square to a B square. So C and B, we're going to make 4 of these, and just making sure it feels like we have, yeah, so we have 4 each left over. Okay, so they're going to go like that. Okay, and we are going to flip them over right sides together. And then I'll just turn them in the orientation that I know I'm sewing them. So I'll have them ready. Guess it really doesn't matter though. Okay, so they're 2 squares, so you just want to put them on top of each other and just sort of try to center them on each other. Okay, we're just doing the quick press. If you are pressing to one side, you want to press towards C, which is the pink. So you'll put pink to the top, flip over and press. Okay, so here is our step 6. And let's see, the C is supposed to be to the left. Woohoo, I got that right. Okay, so now so this is step 6. This is step 5. And it says that I want to join step 5 to step 6. And I am going to put, okay, so these guys go on top, just like that. And then these go like this. Okay, so I'm just going to flip them over right sides together. And I'll get them ready. Okay, let's go ahead and get these pressed real quick. little bit of green pin over here. Okay. Okay, if you are pressing to one side, you're going to want to press toward the bottom where the 2 squares are. So you'll put the 2 squares to the top, flip over and press. Okay, so I'm always trying to pull little strings and everything off of everything. Stop it! Stop clinging to my fabric. Sorry, y'all know I'm crazy, right? Oh my goodness gracious, gray balls of fire. Okay. Whew. Okay. So we have joined our step 5 to step 6, and this is step 7. And it says that these are to measure 6.5 inches square. All right, let me get a square ruler. All right. Y'all know I break into hives whenever it comes to this. I truly do. Okay, so 6.5. All right, I'm just going to say it's close. It's not really, but so yep, this is how mine always come out, and I'm good with it. What I'm going to do though is I do still want to clean up my edges. Like, no matter what, I always want to clean them up because it makes it more difficult when you are joining more blocks together, because then if something's crooked, and you know, I just like to, when it gets to a point like this where they're saying, okay, measure it to this and make sure it's there, that's when I want to do a little bit of cleanup. I was hoping that I would have a little more like give or whatever, but I don't, so that's okay. But I do want to do a little bit of cleanup because I have like little pieces where there's like, you know, a piece sticking out, and I would at least rather that my square is square. Okay, so I'm just going to do just the tiniest little bit of cleanup, and when I do that, I tend to try to find one place at least where I have a good, you know, I kind of try to look and see that everything is square in like where my seams are. Okay, so this actually will clean up, it take off just the smallest amount. So I'm going to do that. Okay, you can see there's like the tiniest little bit right here. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over, because now I've already got this, I've got this clean side here, and I am going to put my 6.5 there, just, you know, to get ready. I'll kind of pull it up so I can see the line better. Okay, and I'm going to go just to the outside of that line, and wow, I'm off a lot. I'm off like an 1/8 in some spots there. So, okay, it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. We'll just have to work with that. Because I mean, there's nothing I can do to make it bigger. So I'm gonna just clean it up the tiniest bit, and here we go. And I'll just have to deal with the other stuff. I will. Always have, and my blocks always look great, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. As long as everything is, you know, all squared up, that'll make it a lot easier no matter what. Okay, so now that I have the top and the bottom squared, I am going to use those. I'm going to use that line to sort of make sure things are square this way, so that I can then make these two sides square as well, using those lines if nothing else. Okay, and I'm just trying to get it to where they're all even. And like this part, I can see that that's not going to have a trim, but other places there will. So, and that'll just make the line clean. So you can see it's straight, and there's only a little bit that I had to trim. And then the last side, just do the same thing. And I just want to see. This one is, this way is a lot closer to 6.5 than this way was. This way is, I mean, like maybe 1/8, maybe. And in some spots, not even. So, I think it looks good. Just got to go a little bit more. Okay, let's try there. Okay. And so it looks a lot better. It's not perfect for sure, but it looks a lot better, and it'll be a lot easier to connect to other blocks. Okay, so I have finished squaring these up best I could. They look a lot cleaner now. I'm very happy with those. So I'm going to set these aside for a moment while we go to step 8. Okay, so we are going to take the last 4 of the large triangles, and I'm going to take fabric B and attach it to the top left. And I'm going to take fabric C and attach it to the top right. Now we're going to just do one at a time, because this is going to be a classic flying geese or flying goose. I never know what I'm supposed to say. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this side first. So I'm going to set these aside for a moment. And I'll just lay these out. And these will go top left. Okay, and then I'm just going to fold them over, right sides together. And we will get these ready. And we're just lining them up so that they all match up. Okay, back to the pressing mat, pressing board, pressing something. Okay, now if you are going to press to one side, then you're going to want to press toward, B, which is your gray fabric. So you want that to be face up. You will flip over and press. Okay, so now we are going to take each one of these and we are going to attach the other piece, which this is our C fabric. we're going to attach it to the top right. Okay, so we're going to fold them over, right sides together. And let's get those ready. Now this is exactly what we wanted to do. You want your C fabric to overlap the B fabric, and that's going to make the flying geese. Okay, so I've sewed these up. Let's go ahead and get them pressed. Okay, now if you are pressing to one side as they are, then let's see, this is here. We're going to press towards C. So your C fabric is your pink. You want to put that to the top, flip over and press. Okay, so I have finished step 8. This is step 8 completed. And for step 9, we are going to join step 7, which is this guy, to step 4. What? So we're going to be joining step 7 to step 8, which is this one. And it looks like we're putting them this way, like that. Okay. And we are going to end up with 4 of these. So let's put those together. Okay. And to join those, we're just going to want to flip them over, right sides together, right on that edge where we are going to sew. All right, just going to scooch these for a second and let's work on this one. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to make sure that my point is coming right to that point. So it's easier if I just pick it up and sort of make sure it's there, which there it is. Okay, and I'm going to just put a clip for a second right there because I have it exactly where I want it. And then I'll sort of just manipulate everything else. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, hold on. I know where I want it, so I'm just going to leave it there. Okay. Let's flip her this way for a minute and take a look. All right, so that looks good right there. And I'm not right at that point though, so let me scooch it down. This is probably a better angle. Okay, that's good right there. Okay, and I'm gonna flip it over and get it ready for that seam. And now right here, we can see exactly where the point is. And that's where we really want to measure there. Yes, we want a 1/4 inch, but it's very important that we not go too far down and definitely not too far up, because then you'll cut your point off and you don't want to do that. So I'm going to put my seam line right below so that I can have some room with my pen to make the mark. Okay. And then I'm going to use my clips just to kind of hold them together. as I walk to the sewing machine. That's really the only reason. And then I know it doesn't move. Okay, so now we are back at the pressing mat. I don't know, there's something about the repetition in quilting that kind of makes me happy too. Sort of like knowing what's coming next, you know, like just do everything in little steps. I don't know, I like it. Okay, so if you're pressing to one side, you're going to want to press to the left, and that means like this. So, oh, that's the right. So you're going to want to press to this side. So you're going to put that side on top, your bigger side. You're going to flip it over and then press to get that that seam. Okay. Okay, so I'm always picking at everything. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. So we have, this is step 9, and now we need to make sure that this is measuring at 6.5 by 9.5. So here we go again. Oh gosh. Okay, so let's see. Do I have a? This is a 9.5 ruler. So naturally, I'm very short. I don't understand. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't think that these ends are all that bad, so I might just leave that. And then this is supposed to be 6.5. Okay. It's actually not that bad. I hate whenever I describe something that way, but you know, that's that's me. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna try measuring from this seam here and keeping my line straight and seeing if I can't just trim up a little bit, because I've got some squagglies and it's not quite meeting on that side. And okay, so let me just try to clean it up just a tad. Okay. Oh, here it is. I'm just going to go this way because also I'm right at the end of my ruler. Okay, there we go. Just taking that little bit off, really almost nothing, just to straighten up that side. That's all I'm doing. Okay. So now I'm leaving that right there. Well, I'm gonna try to, because okay, I need a longer ruler is what I need. Let's get a bigger one. And then we get straight into overkill, but that's all right. It's better to be way too big, I guess, than not to be big enough, and then I'm not able to go side to side. So let's see. Actually, that looks pretty good right there. And that's giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost and a half. Almost. It's just a teeny tiny bit short. I can live with that. Okay. So I've just trimmed off that little bit just to kind of clean it up. Okay, so here we have our step 9 after trimming up. And now on step 10, we are going to join step 3, which are these guys. And we are going to join them to the bottom of step 9, which means just like this. So let me see, I'll just put them together one at a time. We've got that. So that's how we're going to put them in, just like this. And what we'll do is we will flip them together this way and right sides together, and then we'll join them together. That's what we're doing. So let's do our measurements. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I want to make sure that I'm measuring right to that point, because that's what we want to make sure we don't cut that point off or go too far up or down with it. Okay, so we are back to the pressing mat. And we're just going to give these a quick press. Okay, now if you are going to press to one side, then, let's see. Okay, it doesn't really tell us which way to go, so whichever one is more comfortable for you, just go ahead and press. Usually that means the shorter piece would be the easiest one to flip, so you can put this one on top, flip over, and press. Okay? Okay, so we've got these pressed, and now we are ready to add our white strips that we have. Okay, so we are going to take the shorter rectangle, which is this one, and we're going to attach it to the left side of the block. Okay, so we will take one, attempt to take one strip. They love each other. Okay, this is the right way. And we are just going to fold it over right sides together. And roughly line them up so that everything is straight. It overlaps just a teeny tiny bit for me, which I prefer, obviously, because we can always trim. But that also probably means that my blocks are short, which we already know that, so I think we're good. All right, so let's just go ahead and put that 1/4 inch. And I'm definitely going to be doing mine a scant 1/4 inch, which for me, that just means I am going to have my 1/4 inch line go a little bit below the fabric so that it's just a little bit smaller, because my blocks are always, they're always too small. So I'm attempting to make them a little bit bigger by fudging it this way. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's get these pressed real quick. I'm going to just do the quick first press, which just closes up all those little holes. Okay, now on both of these, well, on this one piece of the white that we have attached, and also on the next one, we have been told to press toward A, which is the white fabric. So I'm going to make sure that my white fabric is on top, and instead of pressing open on these, I'm just going to press the same way you guys are pressing. Okay, so I'm just going to press toward A. But when I come back, we are going to be attaching the longer of the white strips to the top, just like so. So I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. Laundry's a going. Okay, so now I'm going to just take one of the blocks that we have, and I'm going to take the longer strip. We're going to attach it on top, so we want to flip it over right sides together. And I'm just going to put it down there. And let me see. This has actually been working for me a little bit here, so I can see where the line is. It's right there. So I want to make sure that I keep that point. And that's the only one. Okay, so once I have that line there, that's helping me out because I can tell where I can put my seam allowance line and not lose that point. So that's what I'm doing right there. This is just making it. Which is good, because that means it's 12.5 across. Yay! Whoa! I feel like I want to have a party. I want to have a party. Oh my gosh, that's my happy dance for my block being big enough. Oh my goodness, you guys have no idea. Well, some of you do. I have to have a happy dance. I'm telling you what. Okay, hold on. I'm so excited that I'm forgetting to like do all of my measurements that I'm supposed to do to make sure I'm good. Okay. That was exciting. Okay. Okay guys, we finally have done the last of our stitching, and now we are just going to give a quick press, and I will press my seam to one side as well, and we will be pressing toward the A fabric, which is the white, the long strip. Okay. So we just make sure that the A fabric, which is our white, is on the top, and then we just flip it back. I have that point, that's good. This ruler is 12.5 inches square, so I mean, you know, let's just see what happens. Okay, so it's not bad. It's just a little crooked in points. Like over here, this is out from the line a bit. And you can also see that while I had these measure up, this little point here, it did not measure over here. So it's off. You can see that it's off. And there, you know, there would have been, put it this way, even if there were a way to fix that, which I'm sure there is, I'm fine with it. There comes a point where you just go, you know what? It's close enough. Okay, it's going to be fine, guys. I promise you it's going to be fine. And here are our finished blocks for clue 1. Okay, so these are our clue 1. And we are going to label these clue 1. So let me try to put them together at least a little bit neater. And then I'll show you how I store my projects, just in case you're interested. If you're not, that's okay. You probably, hopefully if you all have a way that you store. If you want to share that down below with everybody else, feel free to do that. Okay, so I have this little, I keep these little pieces of paper that I can just write on. I don't know if the green will show up. Let's do a black. And I'll just write clue 1. And then I'm going to take my paper scissors, so I don't freak anyone out. Cut that. And then I just take a wonder clip and I clip it on just like that. Okay, and then I buy all these project boxes. I really like them, and I always label what's inside. And I have already purchased my backing, so this is what I'm going to use for my backing. Let me just take that out for a second. And so then basically I will just take my first clue and lay it inside. And then I'm going to make sure, and I always just keep my my instructions just in case, and definitely want to keep this. You don't want to lose that. They don't send it to you every time. You just get it in the first shipment, so you want to make sure you keep that. And then I just put it away and wait till my next clue comes in. And that's it. That's what I do. So I hope you guys had fun making this first clue, assembling this first clue for the large quilt, and I will see you guys next month.